the whole thing wobbin', wobbin', wobbin'. When I come around, got the whole thing wobbin'.
What's going on, guys? It's Zirksee coming at you today with another YouTube video, and today I'm going to be going over every single Madden 22 stadiums, X factors, and also momentum shifts that are in the game as of right now in the beta. Now, of course, some of these could potentially change by the time the game does come out, but if you guys are unaware as to what I'm talking about, basically home field advantage is actually a thing now in Madden 22, and also just in general there is a momentum swinging in Madden 22, and momentum basically means if you score a TD, if you get a hit stick, if you have a big play, if you get a turnover, whatever, that kind of swings the momentum in either team's direction, and there's a little bar that fills up all the way. Unfortunately, I can't showcase the Madden 22 beta. In the background right now is just a Madden 21 computer game, so don't pay attention to that. Not really important to the video, but basically the momentum is kind of big. There's a lot of things that change throughout the game. Sometimes you may not be able to actually get the correct audible out there. I actually played a game where I was trying to put a receiver on a streak. It took me 3 tries to put him on a streak, because the first time I tried to put him on a streak, it put him on a slant and then like a corner route, stuff like that, stuff that is definitely going to change the game. There's different things for every single stadium. Some stadiums have similar ones, but we'll get into that. But I do want to give a shout out to a random guy that likes stuff. If you guys want a chance to be shout out in the next video, drop a like in the vid, make sure you guys are subbed to the channel, turn notification bell on, and comment down below, Noti Gang. But let's get into all 32 teams, X Factor, and momentum shifts. So as I did say, every single home field has an advantage to it now. So basically, let's say this one is the Bears. So let's say that you guys are playing Mutt, or you're playing whatever, you're going to have a home field advantage if you are in fact the home team. So just know the first thing that I say, the X factor I will call out, is for just the home team specifically, but the away team has got 2 potential momentum shifts and the home team has got the same 2 potential momentum shifts. So when you start off the game, the home team automatically has got the X factor activated, or at least one of the things activated that the away team will never be able to get. So if you are the Bears instantly have bear down, which is the away team's kicking meter moves faster on the downswing. So it does make it harder there for the away team to actually kick field goals if that is activated. Of course, if the away team does do something to shift the momentum in their factor, that will go away, of course. Now, as for the other 2 things, as I said, they are for both teams. So depending on how the game is going, the momentum, whatever, these go for both teams. I'm just gonna flow with that when it comes to talking about every other team as well. So next up, we have scatterbrained. So the away team offensive play art can be incorrect. So you can have a slant out there and it might show you that you have a streak or something like that. And again, that goes for both teams, home team and away team, just depending on where the momentum is at for the game. That is the first thing the away team can actually get. And the last one, if you have full momentum for either side, it is the away team or the home team's quarterback has trouble seeing non-check down receivers. Now, what does this mean? Basically, instead of seeing an icon for, say, the running back or a check down out there, you're going to see a question mark over their head. So you won't actually be able to see the icon of the player. So that is if you guys are in the Bears stadium. As I said, the first thing I'm going to mention here is always going to be for just the home team, and the other 2 things can be activated by either team. So for the Bengals, they have Houday, so no huddle results and reduced clock runoff. Kind of cool there for the Bengals, does help out quite a bit. For the next 2 things, if either team gets this, you have infinite stamina during plays. I think that's actually pretty OP if you think about it, because like, let's say you're a quarterback and you're running or something, or you're a wide receiver doing a bunch of jukes, whatever, that's pretty big. And then the final thing, if you get the momentum filled out, is that your team will have improved catching. And that is called hot hand, which a lot of teams actually have that. So just keep that in mind. Next up, we've got the Bills, and the Bills is called downwind. So the away team's kicking arc moves erratically. So again, another thing for kicking there. The second thing for either team is that your team can actually hot route faster, so that's cool. And the final thing is called nerves. So some of the other team's receiver icons are hidden in pre-play. So it makes it harder for you to actually make some adjustments because you can't see the icon. Next up, we've got the Broncos, and theirs is called Mile High. So the away team has less stamina during plays. That's actually pretty big and kind of cool there. Next up, we have Scenic Route, which is the primary receiver's play art is distorted for the other team, which I have actually seen that as well. So it's gonna look really weird. It's basically just like really squiggly, which I did actually mention that in my like initial review of the game, and I think someone commented saying it's from like an old NCAA game. So yeah, it's like really like squiggly, really hard to see what play art you have. And the final thing again is just hot hands, so improve catching. Next up, we've got the Browns, and theirs is called Dog Pound. So for them, the away team's hot routes have a chance to fail in the red zone. We've also got Runner's High, which is your team will have infinite stamina during plays again. And the final thing is Analysis Paralysis. I don't know why they have that rhyming there. But the other team's QB periodically has trouble seeing receivers. So again, the question mark over the player instead of the actual like button. Next up, we've got the Buccaneers, and theirs is called Fire the Cannon. So the home team recovers fatigue upon entering the red zone. The next thing is Shook. So again, the offensive play art is distorted for the other team. And then Tunnel Vision. Some of the other team's receiver icons are hidden during the play. So again, question mark over the receiver. Next is Cardinals, and they have Rise Up Red Sea. So for the Cardinals, if you are the Cardinals, the home team, you actually gain momentum faster, which is kind of cool there. The next thing is hotter routes, so you can hot route faster. And the final thing is nerves, so the other team's receiver icons are hidden in pre-play. Next is Chargers, and theirs is called Bolt Up. So the Chargers team will gain bonus momentum for yardage gains. Next, we have Crossed Wires. So the other team's receivers can receive incorrect hot routes, which is what I'm talking about, where, you know, you try to put them on a streak, and it might take 3 tries to actually do that. And the final one is Like a Book. So you can actually see the opponent's primary receiver's route. So if they have them in a streak or a slant, whichever one is the red route out there, which is the primary receiver, you will see what they're on. For the Chiefs, they have Home of the Chiefs. So the away team's audibles have a chance to fail. So they may try to switch it to, you know, slants or 4 verticals, whatever. It may not actually work. Next up is Shook. Again, that's just where the play art is distorted. And finally, Tunnel Vision, where they're actually hidden during the play, the receiver's icons. As for the Colts, their X factor is called Hat Count. So the home team defense can see the hat count via Coach Cam. Okay. We have Runner's High again, so you have infinite stamina. And finally, Analysis Paralysis, where the QB periodically has trouble seeing receivers' icons. As for the Cowboys, their X factor is deflected, so the away team's punt distance is shortened when kicking across the 50. We have Scenic Route. Again, just the primary receiver's play art is distorted for the away team, and hot hands improve catching. For the Dolphins, their X factor is the home team's fatigue is slower, so you will not get as tired as quickly. Next up in the tier is Iced Out, so the other team's field goals / PAT kicks used the icer or the iced kicker effect. So basically, if you have that one, depending on if you're home or away, it doesn't matter, whatever. For that one there, the other team's kicks and PATs will all be iced. And finally, hot hands. For the Eagles, their X factor is linked in, so while winning, momentum gains are increased for the home team and decreased for the away team. So that's kind of cool there. Next is Scenic Route. So again, the primary receiver's play art is distorted, and hot hands. As for the Falcons, theirs is called Rise Up, and the home team gains bonus momentum on offense. They have Lockdown. I believe this is the first stadium that has Lockdown for the second tier for their team, and that is your team will have improved coverage. And the final one is called Rattled Receivers, so the other team will have trouble catching. I do think, by the way, that some of these ones, like having trouble catching, those ones are definitely a little bit harder to deal with here. I may even make a video going over the best ones in my opinion if you guys want to see that. As for Washington, their X factor is unstable ground. So the away team has an increasingly hard time changing directions. That's really interesting. Then they have Iced Out. So again, you know, the iced effect, and then hot hands for improved catching. As for the 49ers, they as well have got unstable ground, so again, hard time changing directions, iced out, and then rattled receivers. On to the Giants, they have turf war, so the away team fatigues faster. They have hold the line so that your team will have improved blocking, and the final one is like a book, so again, you can see the primary receivers' routes. As for the Jags, they have Duval as their X factor, so you gain bonus momentum on touchdowns, scatterbrained, so the other team's offensive play art can be incorrect, and then checked out, so the other team's QB has trouble seeing non-check down receivers. As for the Jets, just like the Giants, of course, they have turf war, so their X factor is away team fatigues faster. Next up is coverage crisis, so the other team has trouble with coverage. And finally, hot hands. Next is Lions, and theirs is called Motor City, so the home team accelerates slightly faster. That one's actually really big, if you ask me. That's actually really big. Coverage crisis has trouble with the coverage, and hot hands. Packers is called Go Pack Go, so the momentum gains are increased for the home team and decreased for the away team, so it makes it easier for you to actually get momentum and harder for your opponent. Next is instinct, so the other team has their pass target highlighted. Okay, and then like a book again, so you can see your primary receivers' hot routes. As for the Panthers, of course, theirs is called Keep Pounding, so the home team has more stamina during plays, and then scenic route for this distorted routes for the away team, their player anyways, and the hot hands. Patriots, and theirs is called Our House, so they have the home team gains bonus momentum on touchdowns and third down stops. They also have scatterbrain, so the other team's offensive player can be incorrect, and I think this is the first time that we've seen this one. The other team's players cannot enter the zone. That's called zoned out if you get your momentum maxed out. On to the Raiders, theirs is called Just Win Baby, and theirs is while winning, home team has increased momentum gain and fatigue recovery. They have instinct, so the other team has their pass target highlighted and finally checked out, to where the other team's QB has trouble seeing non-check down receivers. As for the LA Rams, they have Rams House, so the home team gains bonus momentum on defensive stop, coverage crisis, just trouble coverage to their team, and hot hands. The Ravens have got Truz the System, while winning, home team gains bonus momentum on running plays, coverage crisis, and hot hands. As for the Saints, of course, it's called Who Dat, so the away team receivers can mistakenly get incorrect routes on third and fourth down. They have runners high for the infinite stamina and hot hands. You're noticing that a lot of stadiums here have just got hot hands for the max momentum for either side. As for the Hawks, they have the 12s, so the away team has distorted play art on third and fourth down, so that's kind of interesting there. Prediction problem, so hides the ball spot indicator for the other team, and then analysis paralysis, where they have trouble seeing receivers. Steelers is called Terribly Distracting, so the away team's hot routes have a chance to fail on third and fourth down, hotter routes so you can hot route faster, and nerves, where the away team's receiver icons are hidden in pre-play or home team, depending if, whatever side you're on, if you get it maxed out. Texans is called the Bullpen, so the away team gains less momentum for touchdown, hotter routes, and nerves. The Titans is called Tighten Up, so the home team has improved blocking and avoids holding penalties, hold the line so you have improved blocking, and finally, like a book, so you can see the primary receiver's routes. And the final team, guys, is the Vikings, so theirs is called Skull, so the home team is slightly faster in the red zone. That's pretty big. That's honestly pretty big. As long as the momentum is on your side, you'll have the Skull one activated. Coverage crisis, and finally zone in, so the home team players participating in touchdowns or takeaways enter the zone. So if you get a pick, your player automatically goes into the zone. If you score a TD, you automatically go into the zone. I think, honestly, the Vikings is one of the better ones. Like, the slightly faster in the red zone is pretty big. I may make a video going over the best ones in my opinion if you guys want to see it, but hopefully you guys did enjoy the video, and if you did, make sure you guys drop a like to the video, and of course hit that sub button down below. Keep in mind, these could potentially change before the game does come out. Hope you guys enjoyed. See you guys next time.